Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Barcelona have just lost to AS Monaco 2-1 in their UCL debut, the first official loss for Hansi Flick as Barcelona coach, and it comes away from home against Monaco. Maybe we just can't beat Monaco. We can't beat them in the Joan Gamper, we can't beat them in the UCL. Maybe Monaco this year is our bogey team. Maybe they're our new Bayern Munich. If we face off against Monaco at any point in this competition, in the round of 16 or in the quarterfinals or in the final or in the semifinal, we'll lose to them because we just can't beat Monaco, it seems like. We just can't beat Monaco. And this game to me, and I'm going to try not to be too upset while I'm filming this match review, but it's going to be really, really difficult for me because this game for me is the perfect example of why Barcelona have been such a failure in Europe over the past decade. And I know that might sound hyperbolic, but just hear me out real quick. We always find a way to shoot ourselves in the fucking foot, and it pisses me off so much. What is it with this? Like, why is it that when our players hear that anthem and they play in this competition specifically, we always self-sabotage? It's so frustrating to watch, and it's never a youngster. It's always a veteran or a leader of the team. Last year, it was Araujo against PSG, stupidly tackling Bradley Barcola and getting a red card early in that game. And today, it's our captain, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Let's talk about today because that loss is on ter Stegen. It's very seldom you can put a loss on one player. But today, I feel very confident in saying if ter Stegen doesn't fuck up there, we win that game because we've seen under Hansi Flick these past five games in the league, Barca have been really, really good. In my opinion, I said in the video after Girona, we've been the best team in Europe. That wasn't the best team in Europe today because, again, you're already compromised with injuries. And now your keeper puts you in a position where you have to foul somebody and get a red card, and we're down to 10 men 10 minutes into the game. That is not on Eddie Garcia, that is on ter Stegen, who should be better than that. And ter Stegen too many times lets this team down. And I've been a defender of ter Stegen. If you've watched my videos, you know I've defended him a lot because most Barca fans can't stand him, and I've actually defended ter Stegen. But today, that is indefensible. And a lot of things he's done this season have been indefensible. The goal against Girona was his fault, in my opinion. What the fuck is he doing there? The goal against Rayo Vallecano was his fault, near post. And today he again gets beat at his near post in the first goal. Again, he gets beat at the near post. His distribution was fucking ass today. And yes, he makes big saves every now and then, but like when you want to compete for this competition, you gotta have a good goalkeeper. You gotta have a strong presence in the back. And we don't have that right now. We have a guy who crumbles too many times. It's not the first time ter Stegen has crumbled in a UCL match, and it's not gonna be the last. And again, a 90-minute game, a lot of things happen, but if Eddie Garcia doesn't get sent off, I don't see how Barca lose that game because even with him getting sent off 10 minutes in, we were still in it. It was 1-1 up until like the 70th minute, I think, when Monaco scored that second goal. So I believe Barca would have won that game. I had high expectations coming into this game because, again, all I've seen from Barca so far this season has been amazing. It's left me mesmerized, honestly, as a fan. I think most Barca fans can agree with that. But today, that's unacceptable, man. It is unacceptable. And we need our players back. I think Barca have done as well as they can with injuries. I mean, we've done really, really well. And Hansi Flick has proven to me that he's a guy who can make it work with anything. But we need our players back, man. We need Araujo back. We need Christensen back. We need a better back line. This back line is just not going to cut it. Cubarsí was great today, in my opinion. Made a couple big tackles. Was just really, really good. Íñigo Martínez, look, he's been great. Okay, he's been really, really good over the past couple games. Against Valladolid, he was really good. Against Girona, he was really, really good as well. He is not a guy you can rely on week in and week out because he's going to fuck up. Sorry, I had to burp. He's going to fuck up. That second goal was unacceptable. What the fuck are we... What am I watching? What are you doing there? Pushing some random Monaco player, I mean, getting riled up like that, it's just not, he's not good enough in my opinion. He's just not good enough. Again, Íñigo is a good backup option. He was good for us last season. He's been good so far this season. I'm not saying that he's a terrible player and can never see the pitch again. But if you want to actually compete in a competition like this, you need to have competent center backs who are competent for most of the time. And I just don't think Íñigo Martínez is that guy. I just don't believe he's that guy. And again, when you're down to 10 men, it's going to be difficult to win a game away from home against a team like Monaco, who are unbeaten so far this season in the league, in Ligue 1. They're a really, really good team. They're well coached. Adolf Hutter, in my opinion, was a guy who actually wanted to see at Barca before we hired Hansi Flick. I talked about him at length. If you guys have watched my channel for a long time, I think he's a really, really good coach. I think Monaco play a very physical and very, they're very imposing on the pitch. And, you know, we saw it today. Barca could not deal with Monaco's physicality, and that came back to, and that bit us in the ass today because we lost the game. I'm seeing the replay of ter Stegen right now. What is he doing? What are you doing, man? Honestly, it's baffling to me how, you know, and people are going to say you're being too mean to ter Stegen. I don't think I am, bro. This is professional football. Like, that's not going to cut it. That's just not going to cut it. You had nobody pressing you. You literally could just, you could have just hoop the ball up the pitch and you decide to play that ball. I mean, are you blind, dude? Honestly, were you wearing a blindfold while you were doing that? I don't understand what he was looking at. I genuinely don't understand what he was looking at. But again, it's crumbling in the UCL. It's always crumbling in the UCL. I don't know what happens with this team in the UCL, though. We always find a way to crumble. It's so frustrating to watch. And honestly, we haven't won a UCL in nearly a decade, and I'm starting to go insane. It's like blue balls with the UCL. It keeps teasing me, and I just can't get at it. You know that fucking scene from Borat where where he's like, you will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la. And like the fucking sister and the brother, how he's in a cage and the sister's outside, you know, doing whatever. That's how I feel with the UCL. It's like the UCL's in a cage and it's mocking me and it's saying, you will never, no, actually, I'm in a cage and the UCL's outside of the cage and it's telling me, you will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la. Okay? That's how frustrating it is. That's the best analogy I can come up with. That's the best thing I can come up with right now. Lamine Yamal scores a goal today. He goes off fucking limping because, of course he does, because we can never have anything as Barca fans. But that kid is insane. I mean, honestly, he's insane. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. He's to me already cemented as a top 10 player in the world. Again, he continues to streak of scoring in I don't know how many consecutive games. And honestly, talking about Lamine is the only thing that can put a smile on my face right now because I hope he's not injured. I hope he's going to be fine for Villarreal. Honestly, if I was Hansi Flick, I would rest him for Villarreal because, yes, Villarreal is an important match. You want to keep extending that lead over Madrid in the league, but it's not more important than this kid in his future because he's literally our future. He's the future of the club. So you keep Lamine Yamal on the fucking bench. You say you're not playing this game, and we'll play somebody else. Even if we lose, I don't think we'll lose because I think as long as we don't go down to 10 man, Barca can win most games because we have a coach that's good enough to win to coach us to win most games. But again, to me, Lamine Yamal today, the goal that he scores, cutting on his left foot. When Barca were looking the worst period of the game for Barca, to cut on his left foot and do that was just mesmerizing. Honestly, it's the second time I've used mesmerizing today. Word of the day, I guess, mesmerizing. But yeah, I mean, a great goal from Lamine Yamal. And what else do I want to talk about? What other Barca players stood out to me? I thought Casado had a decent game. Again, he goes off limping, but I thought he was actually really, really good. I thought Balde was good. He looked sharp today. For the most part, going forward, I thought he looked really, really sharp. Rafinha was just, I mean, probably the worst game he's played so far this season. He had an attack that he killed because the ball got stuck in between his feet and he just couldn't get it out. That would have been an easy goal for Barca, in my opinion, because you had Lamine Yamal wide open on the right-hand side. It was in the second half. And the ball he just gets tangled with the ball at his feet. And that's obviously something that can't happen if you want to win the game because that would have been a great chance for us to score. You also have Lewandowski, who to me today was subpar. I didn't think he really got into many positions to actually receive the ball and score. I thought his link-up play was good but not great. I just don't think Lewandowski was particularly great today. But again, I'm not blaming Lewa. I'm not blaming anybody besides Ter Stegen today, bro. I'm not blaming anybody besides Ter Stegen and maybe Íñigo Martinez a little bit. But again, the reason why Íñigo is compromised like that is because you're down to 10 men. You always have to compromise when you're down to 10 men. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? It's like a trickle-down effect. It's like a butterfly effect. Why did Barca look so bad defensively? Well, because you're down to 10 men. Why are Barca down to 10 men? Because our goalkeeper made a mistake. That's the reason why. Our goalkeeper made a stupid mistake. He had no business making that mistake. And Barca, unfortunately, lost the game. And in this new UCL format, you can't really afford to lose games like that. You gotta keep stacking points because only 8 teams automatically qualify to the round of 16. And if you don't qualify automatically, you're gonna have to fucking play more games. And more games means more risk of injury. And more risk of injury means bad news for Barca because we're already a squad that's injury depleted. And already a squad that's very thin. Did you guys look at that bench? There's a reason why Hansi Flick didn't make subs until the 70th something minute or like the 80th minute. That bench is terrible. You're bringing Gerard Martin off the bench and Ferran Torres off the bench. No disrespect to those guys, but again, that's not really a recipe for success in my opinion. But whatever. I mean, Hansi Flick should have made subs earlier in my opinion as well. But again, when you look at the bench, who can you really rely on the bench and say, okay, I'm going to put this guy and he's going to make a difference? Ansu Fati coming back from an injury who hasn't put on a Barca kit in a year and a half? No. But yeah, I don't know, man. Ter Stegen is just so frustrating to watch. Pedri, I thought Pedri was good. This game would have been great for Dani Olmo too, man. I think this game would have been great for Dani Olmo. Fermin would have helped us so much today. Just the injury crisis keeps piling up, and it's gonna fuck us over, man. The injury crisis just keeps piling up, and that is not what you want to see because I think Barca have proven this year that they're good enough to make noise in this competition. I believe when I say make noise, if we have a fully healthy squad, I believe Barca can win this whole thing. But again, it's something about hearing that anthem for our players and getting on our pitch and seeing the MasterCard. You know how the UCL has that MasterCard thing. And, you know, seeing the logo, the UCL logo that just... It's like every player that wears a Barca shirt, no matter... Like, you can be the best UCL player of all time prior to wearing a Barca shirt. And then you come to Barca and you wear a Barca shirt, and it's like you collapse under the lights of the UCL. I don't know what happened to this team the past decade, but it seems to be infecting all our players. It's like a disease that's going around the dressing room of Barca or at the Spotify Camp Nou or at the training facility. It's like every player gets the UCL virus from Barcelona. And I hope the Flickinator, luckily for us, he's superhuman, so he's immune to every disease ever. So he's not going to catch it because this is a guy who won a sextuple. So the Flickinator is fine. The Flickinator is going to, you know, he's immune to everything. This guy could have sex with a dog and wouldn't get AIDS. That's how immune he is to everything. And Raw, I'm talking about. They're disgusting, bro. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't think Hansi Flick is infected with that because, again, I think today Hansi Flick didn't do anything wrong. He put out a good team, in my opinion. I mean, Eddie Garcia at CDM was risky, but again, you put Pedri further up the pitch. You have Rafinha on the left. That's been working. Rafinha's been working on the left. He's been working down the middle. Rafinha's been working at everything. They're fucking interviewing Ter Stegen right now. I'm actually watching him get interviewed on Unimas right now, fucking Marc-André Ter Stegen. I wonder what he's saying. I don't want to know what he's saying, but I kind of want to listen to it. But I'm not going to listen to it because, honestly, I don't care what he has to say because it's his fault. It's his fault. And again, people are going to say I'm a toxic Barca fan. Look, man, it's too many times this guy's let us down. And it's too many times he fails to make big saves. He does not make big saves, ever. When Monaco were about to get that penalty, right, before it got overturned, which rightfully so, by the way, did anybody think Ter Stegen was going to have a chance to save that? Did anybody think that he even had a slight chance to save that penalty? No. Ball at the near post. Yes, he's blinded. Yes, it's a powerful shot. Why are you standing in place, man? Again, I'm not a pro keeper, so it might look like I'm being a fucking a couch quarterback, is what you would call it in America. When you're criticizing a player that you've never played in that position. Again, I understand how that can come off as being kind of douchey, and I'm not trying to do that because I do, I try to be unbiased and level-headed, and I try to, treat these players like human beings because they do make mistakes. But again, for me, it's just disappointing because Ter Stegen is a captain for this team, and that's an unforced error. It's not like someone was pressing him and he just took too long to get rid of the ball. No one was near him. He had no business to be doing that. And by the way, that Eddie Garcia red card to me was extremely soft. He barely even touches him. He barely even touches the Monaco player. But yeah, that's it, man. C'est la vie. That's for those of you guys that don't know French. That's it's life. I hope it is, at least. I think it is. C'est la vie, right? That makes sense. Yeah, vie, life, vida. I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. Everybody who came out to the stream, it means a lot to me. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about this game. Your stand-up performers, if there were any. Just a dud of a game, man. I hope Villarreal is better on Sunday because I really need a bounce back after that. I was riding on such a wave. I was at the highest of the highs. You know what I mean? I was in the highest of the highs. And then it's like, whoa. It's like, like a roller coaster. I was like, woo, boom, and then it's like, wow. The drop was so steep for this game. But again, it's a roller coaster, so we'll go back up. It will go back up. But again, man, I also want to say this. Don't let this game discourage you guys about Barcelona this season because we've looked great for most of the season. And in this game today, against a tough team away from home, it was 1-1 for most of it. Again, down to 10 men. So don't be discouraged about Barca. It's going to get better. It is already great. I mean, we're having a great season so far. It's one game out of 8 in the UCL. We'll have 7 more to go. We're going to beat Bayern Munich. We're going to beat Borussia Dortmund. We're going to beat Young Boys. We're going to beat every other team that we play in the UCL. I believe that. And we're going to qualify as a top 8 team because this team has shown us nothing that can make us doubt them. Besides today, and again, we were down to 10 men because of a mistake from our goalkeeper. But yeah, man, I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody who came out to the stream, it means a lot to me. I appreciate you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It's amazing. And yeah, man, that's it. I mean, we'll wait for Villarreal on Sunday and see what happens there. Ferran Torres obviously hurt for that game, so we'll see what lineup Hansi Flick puts out there. But yeah, man, I love you guys. I've been yapping too much, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.